Remember, the next episode after this is already up live and available to watch now by over 4,500 incredible fans on the world's largest and highest earning anime and manga Patreon in the world. The links are in the pinned comment and description. See you there. Well, hello, Gaiba. Truly, it is a pleasure to finally meet you. I've heard a lot from the Oracle Fish about your power, and it's about time I saw it for myself. So our story continues with the arrival of Omni Vegito to a strange planet seeking the new members of the 5 strongest, and in front of him, as his personal choice, would be Gaiba, a character from Season 1 of Ultra Vegito, now here also in this multiverse, but no longer under the rule and capture of God of Destruction Jin. Who are you? But Gaiba's response would be stoic, no fear nor respect for the Omni King, as with confidence he would continue, I have never met you, yet you know my name. Explain. In fact, don't bother. I didn't come here to talk. I came to make you leave before you get hurt. Me get hurt? I love it. But of course, hearing this would only immediately give the Omni King giggles, closing his eyes with his teeth bared, continuing, You see that right there? The fact you think you can hurt me. That power you know is within you, I know all about it, and it's why I've come here. As Vegito would then begin strutting forward towards Gaiba saying, I know a lot in fact. I know how you use this power to protect all your loved ones. How invaders come here non-stop, and you're the only reason your clan survives. I know that's why this area hides key signatures. But even without that, I even know right now, in that house behind you, women and children you love are cowering in fear, waiting for you to get rid of me. Mommy! Shh! Don't let them hear us. As astonishingly, despite the key signatures being hidden, Vegito's claims would contain no lies, as a family would then be seen hiding in the darkness within one of the homes behind, waiting eagerly for the commotion to end. Don't talk about them! They have nothing to do with this! But it would be this final comment from Vegito that would trigger Gaiba from his stoicism, immediately angrily yelling, Why do you people all think the same? Think you can come here and hurt their innocents here with no consequence? You all end up dead! As long as I'm here, the same will happen to you! Settle down! But Vegito would still be all smiles, as he would explain, This may work for you now. I'm sure you've done a great job of protecting everyone. But the problem is, Gaiba, one day a foe will come that you just cannot defeat. And everyone here will die as a result. Not long ago, a destroyer named Jin was on his way here. He would have enslaved you and erased this entire planet in an instant. But I stopped him. That doesn't mean, though, someone even stronger won't come after him. So this is where my offer comes in. Come and join me, and I will make you stronger than your wildest dreams, to the point there will be no invader you could not handle, God or not. And at the same time, I will promise that this planet of yours, your family and friends, will be protected forever, even while you work for me. They're assured safety in exchange for helping me. Not interested. But almost immediately, Gaiba would just turn his back, with no reason to believe a word this stranger was saying, as he would respectfully let out, "Thanks for your time, but I can protect my family fine as I am now, from anybody, including whoever you are. I'll take my chances with whatever gods come from here on out. Goodbye." But just as Gaiba would say this, a blast with extreme speed and force would fire right past his face, and out in front would not just be an empty space, but in fact a certain house that was mentioned earlier by Vegito. "Mummy, is it going to be over soon?" As the young boy would be seen once again inside said house, as his mother nervously would reply, "Any minute now. Brother Gaiba always saves us all. You know that." But the naive belief in Gaiba would soon come to a halt when suddenly the entirety of their darkened room would light up along with their faces until, in a vicious explosion that would rip through the village, the home and its occupants would instantly be erased from existence. Coral! The children! What did you just do? Immediately leaving Gaiba positively stunned, clearly with some bond to the family, as for the first time he had just momentarily dropped his guard, and unfortunately experienced the ultimate consequence as a result. Why, you monster? You're all the same! And the rage would finally find Gaiba too in this moment, no longer seeking a peaceful goodbye, as his body would begin spouting electricity and fluxing air pressure all around him. Will pay! And in a flurry of dark, mysterious energy we had not seen since Season 1, Gaiba would let loose his power that Vegito had been waiting to see this whole time. I'm sorry I had to do that, but overconfidence breeds weakness. I told you, after that destroyer, a stronger foe you couldn't handle would come. That foe is me. I'll kill you! I'll never forgive you! As now losing his pupils, this madness taken over Gaiba would regret ever giving the Omni King the chance to talk. His transformation now in the early stages of what we saw against Ultra Vegito. But fully transformed or not, the warrior would immediately then shoot forward to rip Omni Vegito to shreds. But as we would see him fast approach the Omni King from up above, a certain angel would be watching it all unfold. An angel that had gone missing in recent chapters. Oh dear. As it would eventually be revealed to be Whis, high up in the sky, commenting, "Vegito-sama has changed a great deal since I found him on Earth, that's for sure. But it seems his methods of achieving his goals are as ruthless as ever. Did he really need to go to such an extreme?" Before suddenly transitioning to a warm smile, Whis would mysteriously look above and say, "Don't worry, you three. You're safe with me. Up here we'll be able to avoid all the drama. Once your friend down there has seen some sense, I'll get straight to work with getting you a new house. I promise." As just like that, the family within the house would be shown again, alive and well, completely out of the sight of Gaiba. A trick on the Omni King's behalf to get the best out of the warrior, it would seem. Jiren! Warrior! As in a change of scene, we'd now return to Goten, 5th of the 5 strongest, in his own recruitment mission of Jiren, the young Saiyan in his Super Saiyan blue form, and the battle clearly having progressed with both him and Jiren now showing heavy battle damage. The first panel we'd see would be both with an equal slamming of their fists into each other's faces. Before Jiren would then land one gut punch of his own, only for Goten to counter with a downward kick onto the Pride Trooper's skull in retaliation. Be gone! Rest easy, warrior! As Jiren's next move would be to pull his arm out and power up a red fiery ball of his signature energy. And of course, right in front would be his target, Goten. I'll rest easy when you're part of the 5! You're strong, Jiren! We need you! But the 5th would have his own reply, powering up a signature but with an immediate instant transmission, a callback to his own father's techniques, not learned on Yardrat, but from Vegito's own affinity to figure out techniques by himself. Goten would appear right under Jiren and blast out a massive Kamehameha point blank, the shining blue energy beam seen even from the surface of the planet, a planet that was far greater than the size of Earth. But in the aftermath, a leg would still be standing. And Jiren himself then visible, clouded in smoke and even more scratched, but unmoved, grabbing onto the sheath of his top until... Nice move! He would rip it off in one fell swoop. Yeah, like I said, we really need strength like yours. But Goten would be smiling anyway, not bothered that his move didn't have any of the intended effect, as Jiren, with a similar expression, would respond, "The same was said to me by Belmont when he recruited me for the Pride Troopers. But like him, you will need to defeat me for me to even consider. Now, we will see what you are really capable of, warrior." As just like that, Jiren would then power up to his strongest state, coated in a magnificent red aura that was unique to him. Show what else you can do, young man. As standing menacingly, soaring with energy, Jiren would wait patiently for Goten to match him. Wow, you're incredible. You're really going to push me to my limit. I wonder if you're stronger than Zyko. Kaioken times 50! As just like that, Goten would have his response, himself now exuding a red aura on top of his blue, as he would multiply his power by 50 times in an instant. But as one Saiyan brother would scream and power up elsewhere in another realm, so too would Gohan, powering up to his limit as a Super Saiyan 2, his aura bursting seemingly alone in this Saiyan realm of the angels until... out of nowhere, a mysterious and invisible power would pull him by force into the distance, ragdolling him as if he were just a plaything. What was that force? My whole body lost control. But while Gohan would be stunned, staring at the ground, his head still shaking, unbeknownst to him, a figure would already stand in front of him. Huh? Who are you? Lifting his head up only to see... What a strange way to address the one who came before all of you. I am the first priest, decider of all grand priests that come after. As right in front of him would be a tall, white-bearded man, regally dressed and staring at Gohan with almost disgust. His eyes would appear familiar. As only on closer inspection, these eyes would be revealed to be the same as Akko Bell's. Eyes thought to only be fit for an archangel. As the mysterious man would look down and say, "Why has someone like you been chosen to come here? What is the meaning of this? Where is Dai? There is no way a mortal like you could have what it takes to be the next Grand Priest. Leave now and tell that Zeno to bring me someone more suitable for a candidate. I do not waste my time." But Gohan, even with this blatant put down, would begin getting up mumbling, "Well, the thing is, I'm not leaving here until I do have what it takes. I've waited a long time for this. As for Zeno and Dai, you should know they are no longer with us. A new Omni King is out there now, one who defeated them both. His name is Vegito." Before a grin would come and he'd continue, "And I'm his son. So maybe talk to me with a little more respect if you could." Vegito defeated my Dai! As instantly, that look of disgust would turn to one of disbelief, learning the realm as he would know it had changed drastically since his last student, and this new one in Gohan would not be leaving until his mission was complete just like his father before him. And it would be at this point we would now join Piccolo in his mission to become a dragon god. Seen walking up a stone stairwell, the sky green, as an imposing building up top would be seen with a wide open entrance. But as Piccolo would peer around, he would come to notice a form of familiarity, noting, this place, the air, the noises, the smell. It reminds me of Namek. Before eventually Piccolo would enter the structure, and within it, a straight corridor with pillars across each side would be observed. There's nothing here but a basket and a blanket. What kind of training did Vegito say this was? As indeed, inside would not be very much at all, but on closer inspection, this lone basket would contain 7 stone balls, plain and with no engraving on them, leading Piccolo to immediately realize these must be the precursors to Dragon Balls. I'm supposed to create these so-called Super Dragon Balls with these. But closing his eyes, Piccolo would know that he would need more help for such a task, thinking, Kami and Dende are going to need to take over from here. But even those two, will they be able to build a set as powerful as what Vegito described? Super Dragon Balls that can grant any wish, no matter what it was. As internally, he would call out, Hey, you guys, wake up! Can you see what I see? We're standing right in front of them, Piccolo. But a sudden, frail voice would reply, and it wouldn't be from within his mind, but outside it. What? How are you 3 here? As right in front of Piccolo now, on the other side, would stand 3 familiar Namekians. Nice to see you too, Brother Piccolo. As shockingly for the first time in decades, Nail, Kami and Dende would inexplicably be outside of Piccolo once again, standing together as a trio, looking on fondly at their Namekian brother. And in the middle of all of them, the 7 stone balls. How is this possible though? You guys could do this entire time! But I don't feel any weaker. As understandably, Piccolo would stand bamboozled, not believing his eyes, especially when it went unnoticed. Relax, young Piccolo. This realm, it isn't normal. It brought us out by itself. But I believe we exist merely as our souls, a representation of who we are metaphysically rather than organically. We still exist inside you, but someone seems to have brought us out to aid you. And I think I can see exactly what for. These are definitely for creating Dragon Balls, though they're a lot smaller than I thought they'd be. As Dende would be next to speak, hunching down to inspect what's in the room. Can't say I know why I'm here. I only took care of Guru, but it feels good to get some air. I'll try my best to help you guys out, Mr. Dragon God. As then Nail, cracking his neck as if he'd been cramped all this time, would be all smiles finally being let out. But suddenly all three would then get to work, placing their hands together around the stone balls. Guess whoever runs this realm knew exactly how we do this. I appreciate it. He must be a Namekian too. As grinning, Piccolo would seemingly be having far more of an easier time with his mission than Gohan ever was. But Gohan wouldn't be the only Saiyan struggling, as back in base, Broly would be seen now on both his hands and knees, grunting away severely beaten, looking to the ground and questioning, "What power? I had no idea such beings could exist. Father, why did you hide this from me? You told me I was the strongest. Father." As with his final thoughts being over his deceased papa, Broly would fall unconscious, completely spent of his last bit of energy. The beast finally sleeps. What a fighter you are, Broly! But he would not be alone, as beside him a pair of feet would land, watching over him like a guardian angel. But unfortunately, where you are just a Saiyan, I am far more than just that. As Zycor, revealing a hideous transformed new state, with both Saiyan and Red Seraphim taking after his own late mother Rani, would show why he was chosen as the fourth, his bag of tricks yet to be shown fully at all. Come, Gaiba, your new home awaits. But it would not be long after that finally Vegito would return, and behind him a calmed but defeated Gaiba, who he had clearly tamed and persuaded to follow him in the end. As Gaiba, looking around, would nervously question, This is where an Omni King lives? What is this place? It's so barren." But Vegito, just looking ahead, would let out, "Don't worry, it's just a pit stop. But look here, do my eyes deceive me or? The gang's all here, and it looks like the fifth and the fourth have succeeded. Who would have thought?" "What do you mean, Dad? What else did you expect?" As revealed, standing there in wait already would be Goten and Zycor, battle-ravaged, with their two new, equally battle-ravaged recruits, Jiren and Broly, remaining quiet in caution in the presence of the strangers, Omni Vegito and Gaiba. But regardless, Vegito would walk straight towards the Pride Trooper, as he would continue commenting, "You did it, Goten! You and Zycor! You've both proven your positions, unlike the others that came before." "So that is the warrior's father." As finally Jiren would make eye contact with the so-called father he had heard so much about from Goten, unknowingly, technically face to face with Son Goku like in the original multiverse and timeline, as he would then think internally, "Unbelievable. This man's power, it feels endless. So this is what lies beyond even the Grand Priest." Hold on. What's this? Don't tell me. Our timings were this perfect.
But the surprise returns would seemingly not end when the Omni King would momentarily sense the arrival of two others. As two familiar portals, one shaped after an angel and the other after a dragon, would then appear, much to the surprise of the three new members of the five who had never before seen this. And of course, 2 feet would begin stepping out, and of course, it would be at exactly the same time.
You didn't think we'd take that long, did you?
It feels good to be back, Dad. I hope I'm finally ready to serve. As perfectly, Dragon God Piccolo and Grand Priest Gohan would finally emerge from their respective trainings. Both new men, it would seem, as Piccolo's clothing would be all new, while Gohan's eyes would reflect his new role as the father of all angels. Clearly, just like many of the realms in this multiverse, time had moved yet again differently wherever they had gone. But with them being gods now and immortal, it would hardly matter how old they were now.
Now that's what I'm talking about! Piccolo, I can sense your divine nature. Those super Dragon Balls are as good as mine now, aren't they? And Gohan, that's some power boost you've got. I knew you'd surpass Dai. As always, my life just seems to go perfectly. And it's no different when the whole multiverse is under my rule now. It's time.
As after a snide grin, clearly smug at his perfect, always winning existence, Omni Vegito would simply snap his fingers and...
It's time to whip this multiverse into shape, my fellow gods. No prisoners, no mercy. All villains must die.
And just like that, on the snap of his fingers, not only would all fighters be returned to full health, but to their natural clothing too. The Dragon God Piccolo, the Grand Priest Gohan, 5th of the 5 strongest Goten, Zycor the 4th, Gaiba the 3rd, Broly the 2nd, and Jiren the 1st. All together, rolling forward into a new era with Omni Vegito. And in this new era, events around the multiverse would continue to occur, namely one beginning on Namek, as we would see a grisly pair of feet stand before what looks like a small Namekian heart.
Hiding doesn't save you, little ones. Your fear alone is enough of a tantalizing scent for me.
As revealed, standing would be Moro, having heard of the Namekian Dragon Balls and arriving on the peaceful planet to wish for his youth back, while getting his fill on Namekian energy along the way, as he would soon turn his head towards the lone hut, and pulling up his hand would call out,
"Fine, I don't need to see your faces while I feast anyway. Die in your home, but your energy will be mine."
We're done for! As unfortunately, inside would be 2 young Namekians. "Somebody, please!" Closing their eyes now as they would start beginning the feeling of their energy leaving their bodies. But everything would end when finally their hopes would be answered, as slamming straight into Moro's face would be a hard-hitting kick that could only belong to another Namekian. Sent flying and straight into the distance, as the two boys would look out through the door in pure curiosity.
Namek is done worrying about your type. If you want energy, just see if you can take mine.
Whoa! As revealing himself with his arms folded and an assured smile, Dragon God Piccolo would stand as the new protector of Namek forevermore. And with a god behind them, no more threats would ever come to the peaceful green people. But soon we'd join other events in the future also, like the showdown between Gas and Granola, beginning with the Cerulean getting smashed straight in the stomach, until Gas's hand would light up and... Sorry, but your wish to be the strongest means null now. Now, that title belongs to me.
What?
Until ultimately, it would blow up right in front of Granola and for devastating effect, covering him in a cloud of pure fire and destruction. Sending the sharpshooter smashing into the background mountains. Crucified onto its surface, sitting down defeated, Granola could only mumble, This isn't fair! Life isn't meant to be fair, Cerulean. The strongest lead, and after my wish to become even stronger than you, I am that leader. As Gas's final move to end things would be to throw a final energy ball made up of mysterious energy straight through at Granola's way. This can't be it! And by Granola's look of fear, it would seem even he knew this would be the end. But miraculously, before it would even make impact, it would erase from all sight. What? That kid still has tricks up his sleeve? How? I'm supposed to be the strongest now. But as Gas would stand stunned in confusion, sorry, but you need to really stop calling yourself that. The title of strongest belongs to my brother. As suddenly, Grand Priest Gohan would reveal himself right behind Gas, and like the Grim Reaper himself, would be here to end this arc of Dragon Ball Super all by himself. I've told you everything! As finally, while this would be going on, we would revisit a familiar scene told to us briefly in the past, as Omni Vegito would stand threatening Zuno the All-Knowing, letting out, You've told me a great deal, yes, but there is more I need to know. For one, I'm not as stupid as those gods that came before. To think there would be no one above even the Omni King. Who created him? What lies beyond this realm and this multiverse? To which Zuno would begin speaking, explaining away in surprising detail until... Elder! Gods! There's that many, huh? And my creator... His name is Castiel. But adjusting quickly, Vegito would then ask,
And let me guess, they don't have the best intentions. Tell me, do any of these elder gods plan to interfere with me or harm my people in any way?
To which Zuno would reply, Yes, one does aim to take control, perhaps even erase us all.
Of course there would be. So it's Castiel then. Just another god I'll grow to surpass. No problem.
No, not him. The culprit is another elder god, known as Cronoa. She plans on forcing a tournament of the elder gods, and she will take control by... Zuno's information on Cronoa's intention being explained thoroughly until...
You're kidding! What a crafty plan! And she thinks all of that will go the way she hopes?
But Vegito would soon begin giggling, closing his eyes, letting out,
Right, I mean if she's so confident, then let's just say things do go ahead, that this tournament happens, and I fight for Castiel. Just tell me one thing. How do I double-cross both of them and become the leader of the Elder Gods myself?
As with his Omni Devil Eyes on full show now, Omni Vegito would show to us all that maybe, just maybe, he had entered this tournament with a plan nobody saw coming. But that was it for today's video, guys, and if you made it this far, leave me a hashtag cross in the comments down below and let me know just what is Omni Vegito's plan. Or just find out what happens right now on my Patreon, where you can see the full next video, fully voice acted, soundtracked and edited for you to enjoy with over 4,500 plus other fans, as well as getting access to 250 plus other fan mangas too. It's the deal of the century.